Hello, my name is Ahmed Umate. I will be presenting on correlational analysis today. So basically in today's presentation, we have had a data provided by the professor and we've been asked to choose 6 of the variables in order to present results of the test. We've used our PSPP software and we are going to discuss the result below. But before we start, we're going to go through the agenda. So we'll start by defining what correlation is. We'll then follow to the 6 tests, the income and stocks, income and wallet, income and savings, debt and stocks, debt and savings, and finally stocks and wallet. We'll proceed with the main takeaways and complete with the questions session. So we'll start the definition. Correlation. The correlational analysis shows how strongly pairs of statistical variables are related. The main result of a correlation is called the correlation coefficient, usually denoted by the letter R, which I'll use throughout the presentation. And it ranges from -1 to +1. So the closer it is to +1 or -1, the more related it is, and the closer it is to 0, the less related it is. We'll start with the first test, so the income and stocks. So here our null hypothesis is there is no correlation between income and stocks, and our alternative hypothesis there is correlation between income and stocks. So in order to get the correlation coefficient and its p-value, we used our PSPP software. Also here we also kept an assumption that alpha was equal to 0.05. So based on that data, a significant correlation emerged, and using PSPP again, R was found to be 0.19 and P 0.018. So this means that the test rejected the null hypothesis and concluded there was correlation between income and stock amounts. The second test was income and wallet. So the null hypothesis is there is no correlation between income and wallet, and the alternative hypothesis there is correlation between income and wallet. So here again we used our software, generated the R and a P, and the assumption was that alpha was equal to 0.05. So based on these data, we could say that a significant correlation emerged. R here was found to be 1.0 and P 0. So the test rejected the null hypothesis and concluded there was correlation between income and wallet. The third test was the income and savings. So here the null hypothesis is there is no correlation between income and savings, and the alternative hypothesis there is correlation between income and savings. So the correlation coefficient R and its p-value were found out using the PSPP software, and alpha was assumed to be 0.05. So based on that, a significant correlation emerged. R was equal to 0.91 and P 0.018. Here again, the test rejected the null hypothesis and concluded there was correlation between income and savings. Test number 4 was debt and stocks. The null hypothesis, there is no correlation between debt and stock. The alternative hypothesis, there is correlation between debt and stock. So here we found out there was no significant correlation which emerged. R was found to be negative 0.049 and P equal to 0.555, which was higher than the alpha, which is assumed to be at 0.05. So here the test, it fails to reject the null hypothesis and concluded there was no relation between debt and stocks. Test number 5. Null hypothesis, there is no correlation between debt and savings. Alternative hypothesis, there is correlation between debt and savings. So here again, based on the data collected, R equal to negative 0.026 and P equals 0.74, so there was no significant correlation which emerged. P is clearly greater than the alpha, which is assumed at 0.05, so the test fails to reject the null hypothesis and concluded there was no correlation between debt and savings. The last test performed was the stocks and wallet. The null hypothesis, there's no correlation between stock and wallet. The alternative, there is correlation between stock and wallet. So R here and P were found using the software. R equal to 0.19 and P 0.017. So here we found out a significant correlation emerged, and the test rejected the null hypothesis, which means that there was actually a correlation between the stocks and the wallet. So in order to conclude this assignment, we had to rely greatly on the PSPP software, and the main takeaways I have here are centered around that software. So the most important or the most impressive thing about the software was that it is user friendly. It was my first time using this today, and I just followed the instructions provided by the professor. It was really easy to open, uh, use, import data, and uh, interpret the data and understand how to make a decision based on that. I also found the software to be user friendly because and very convenient, because at first I had difficulties downloading it. Then I found out I had another option of using it online. So not only you can access it easily, but you can also use this software to interpret data, analyze data, and use that data to make a more informed decision. So that's my presentation of the day. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Thank you again for taking your time to listen to my conversation, and have a good day. Thank you.